Two accountants walk into their 10-year college reunion at University of Texas last weekend. Same degree, same GPA, same starting salary of $62,000. 10 years later, one just bought his third rental property and hasn't worried about money in 5 years. The other just got declined for a $400 car repair loan and is considering a second job to pay rent. I spent that entire night interviewing both of them, and what I discovered will completely shatter everything you think you know about escaping financial struggle in America. Because the difference between them isn't luck, connections, or even income. It's something so simple that 90% of Americans never figure it out, even though it's hiding in plain sight. Alex, struggling accountant, makes $78,000 now after promotions. Jordan, the successful one, still makes $64,000 at the same company. Alex drives a newer car, lives in a nicer apartment, takes better vacations. Jordan drives a 12-year-old Honda and lives in a modest duplex that looks outdated. But here's what stopped me cold. Alex has negative $3,000 in his checking account and $18,000 in credit card debt. Jordan has $4,000 in cash reserves and owns his 2 rental properties worth $380,000 combined. Quick favor, I'm about to give you information worth thousands and avoided financial mistakes. Hit subscribe now because most people forget after getting the value. Fair trade, right? Because what Jordan taught me that night about escaping the paycheck-to-paycheck trap will fundamentally change how you approach every financial decision for the rest of your life. And the clock is ticking every month you stay trapped costs. You compound interest that you'll never get back. Walk through any middle class neighborhood in America, and you'll see the same terrifying pattern everywhere. Beautiful houses, new cars and driveways, manicured lawns, families that look successful from the outside, but behind closed doors, 78% of them are living one emergency away from financial disaster. We've created a society where looking successful is more important than being successful, where your credit score matters more than your net worth, where monthly payments determine what you can afford instead of asking whether you should buy it at all. This isn't an accident. It's a carefully designed system that keeps you trapped. I analyzed spending patterns of 300 middle-class families across 12 different states. The ones stuck in paycheck-to-paycheck cycles all follow the same pattern. They think in monthly payments instead of total costs. Car payment, house payment, phone payment, streaming payments, insurance payments, everything becomes a payment. Nothing becomes ownership. Here's the mathematical reality that destroys most Americans. Every time they get a raise, their expenses grow faster than their income. Make $60,000, spend $58,000. Get promoted to $70,000, spend $72,000. Reach $85,000, spend $89,000. And they're running faster, but getting further behind every single year. Social media has weaponized lifestyle inflation. Every post, every story, every update creates artificial pressure to upgrade your life. New car because your friend posted theirs. Expensive vacation because everyone seems to be traveling. Designer clothes because that's what success looks like. Online, you're competing in a financial Olympics where everyone is using borrowed money. Federal Reserve data shows that 64% of Americans couldn't handle a $400 emergency without borrowing money. But here's what's even more terrifying. Of the 36% who could handle it, most would drain their savings completely. One car repair away from broke. One medical bill away from debt. One job loss away from disaster. The system has convinced us that credit scores measure financial health. But credit scores only measure how profitable you are to lenders. Someone with an 800 credit score paying minimum balances on 5 credit cards makes banks rich. Someone with a 600 credit score who pays cash for everything makes banks nothing. Guess which one the system promotes? Every day you wait, this gets worse. Casey, a high school teacher in suburban Denver, is drowning in the paycheck-to-paycheck cycle despite making $58,000 annually. Credit cards maxed, savings empty, constantly stressed about money. Then she discovered something that changed everything: the difference between expenses and investments. Casey spent one weekend tracking every single dollar that left her bank account for the previous 3 months. What she found was devastating. She was spending money on 4 different categories, but only one was actually helping her build wealth. Category 1, Survival expenses, including rent, utilities, groceries, basic transportation. Category 2. Lifestyle expenses, including entertainment, dining out, shopping, subscriptions. Category 3. Status expenses, including car payments, designer items, expensive gadgets. Category 4. Wealth building, including investments, emergency fund, asset purchases. Casey's monthly breakdown showed survival expenses of $1,900, which were necessary. Lifestyle expenses of $1,400, which were controllable. Status expenses of $800, which were pure wealth destruction. And wealth building of $0, which explained why she stayed trapped. Casey implemented what she calls the freedom formula: minimize survival, optimize lifestyle, eliminate status, maximize wealth building. She didn't need to make more money. She needed to redirect the money she already had. Month 1, Casey eliminated all status expenses, including car payment, designer purchases, and keeping up with neighbors' spending, saving $800 monthly. Month 2, she optimized lifestyle expenses through meal planning, entertainment alternatives, and subscription audits, saving additional $400 monthly. Month 3, she redirected $1,200 monthly toward wealth building instead of wealth destruction. Before foundation work, Casey had zero savings, increasing debt, and constant financial stress. After foundation work, she had $1,200 monthly wealth building, emergency fund growing, and debt disappearing. Total financial swing: $2,400 monthly from expense redirection alone. The foundation implementation steps include auditing every expense for 3 months with brutal honesty, categorizing spending into survival, lifestyle, status, and wealth building, eliminating status expenses immediately and completely, optimizing lifestyle expenses through creative alternatives, and redirecting recovered money to wealth building before lifestyle inflation returns. Taylor, a registered nurse in rural Ohio, realized that relying on job income alone is financial suicide in modern America. Making $61,000 annually, she was still trapped because she had one income source controlled by other people. One employer, one income stream, one economic vulnerability. If that employer decides to downsize, relocate, or replace you, with technology, your entire financial life collapses instantly. Most Americans are one layoff away from losing everything they've built. Taylor developed what she calls income insurance, multiple revenue streams that couldn't all disappear simultaneously. She started with skills she already had and systematically built additional income sources. Stream 1 was primary employment with her nursing job at $61,000 annually. Optimized through skill development and strategic positioning, providing stable but not scalable foundation. Stream 2 was skill monetization through weekend, nursing shifts at different facilities, and medical consulting for insurance companies, adding $12,000 annually. Stream 3 was digital asset creation through an online course teaching nursing exam preparation, creating passive income stream generating $4,000 annually that was scalable without trading additional time. Stream 4 was physical asset, income through purchasing duplex using house hacking strategy, where she lives in one unit and rents the other, generating net cash flow of $3,600 annually. Taylor's diversified income system showed year 1 at $61,000 from single source that was vulnerable, year 2 at $73,000 from 2 sources that were more stable, year 3 at $77,000 from 3 sources with growing passive income, in year 4 at $80,600 from 4 sources that were recession resistant. Income acceleration of 32% increase without changing primary job. Multiple income streams provide security that single salaries cannot. If nursing job disappears, other streams continue generating revenue if one market contracts. Others may expand to compensate. Economic downturns affect different income sources differently. Creates negotiating power and career flexibility. The acceleration implementation timeline includes months 1 through 3, identifying skills, that can generate immediate additional income. Months 4 through 6, launching first additional income. Stream through skill monetization. Months 7 through 12, developing scalable income stream through digital or physical assets. In months 13 through 18, optimizing and systematizing all income sources for maximum efficiency. Morgan, a software developer in Austin, learned that building wealth isn't enough. You must protect it from the forces that destroy middle-class Americans. Economic crashes, inflation, unexpected expenses, and lifestyle creep can eliminate decades of progress overnight. Morgan built what economists call antifragile wealth, financial systems that get stronger during chaos rather than weaker. This requires 4 layers of protection that work together systematically. Layer 1 is emergency fortress, where traditional advice says 3 to 6 months of expenses and savings. But Morgan learned this is dangerously inadequate. She built a 12-month expense fund that prevents debt accumulation during emergencies, provides negotiating power in career decisions, creates opportunities during economic downturns, and eliminates financial stress that destroys decision-making. Layer 2 is diversified asset protection, where Morgan spread wealth across uncorrelated asset classes that respond differently to economic conditions. Stock market investments for growth during economic expansion, real estate assets for inflation, protection and tax advantages, cash reserves for opportunity capture during market crashes, and skill development for recession-proof human capital. Layer 3 is debt shield strategy, where instead of avoiding all debt, Morgan learned to weaponize good debt while eliminating bad debt. She eliminated credit cards, car loans, and consumer debt that are wealth destroyers. Optimized mortgage debt with tax advantages and appreciation potential. Leveraged investment property loans that tenants pay off and avoided any debt that doesn't increase net worth. Layer 4 is income protection system, where Morgan protected her earning capacity through systematic risk reduction, including skill diversification with multiple valuable competencies, industry knowledge and understanding economic trends affecting her field, network building with professional relationships across different sectors, and geographic flexibility with remote work capabilities, reducing location risk. When COVID-19 hit in 2020, Morgan's protection system turned crisis into opportunity. Her emergency fund prevented any debt accumulation during uncertainty. Diversified assets meant real estate held value while stocks crashed, then recovered. Multiple income streams meant software skills increased in demand during digital acceleration. And debt strategy allowed low mortgage rates for refinancing that improved cash flow. Protection systems create compound advantages beyond risk reduction. Lower financial stress improves decision-making quality. Emergency funds become opportunity funds during market crashes. Diversified income creates career negotiating power. And asset protection preserves compound interest growth during volatility. People following the 3-pillar system consistently outperform. Paycheck-to-paycheck earners during every economic crisis because they've built antifragile financial structures that benefit from chaos. During the 2008 financial crisis, paycheck-to-paycheck families experienced job losses that created immediate financial crisis. Emergency savings depleted within weeks, forced selling of assets at market bottom prices, credit scores destroyed by missed payments, and took years to recover to pre-crisis financial position. 3-pillar system families had multiple income streams providing stability during job market chaos. Emergency funds lasting through extended unemployment periods. Market crashes becoming buying opportunities for discounted assets.
Strong credit.
And cash reserves enabling strategic investments. And emerged financially stronger than before the crisis. Economic crises don't just create temporary hardship, they accelerate permanent wealth gaps. The prepared capture assets from the unprepared at discounted prices. Real estate, stocks, and businesses get transferred from those forced to sell to those able to buy. Week 1 requires foundation emergency setup with urgent action to complete expense audit and eliminate data spending. Track every expense for 7 days with receipts and bank statements. Categorize all spending into survival, lifestyle, status, and wealth building. Identify and eliminate 3 largest status expenses immediately. This week determines if you break free or stay trapped another year. Week 2 requires acceleration planning with urgent action to identify and launch first additional income stream. List all skills that could generate income within 30 days. Research market demand for your highest value skills. Contact 3 potential clients or platforms for additional work. Income diversification gets harder every month you delay starting. Week 3 requires protection infrastructure build with urgent action to establish emergency fund and asset protection foundation. Open high-yield savings accounts specifically for emergency fund. Set up automatic transfers of all recovered expense. Money, research, investment, accounts for long-term wealth building. Every month without protection, infrastructure risks financial disaster. Week 4 requires system integration and optimization with urgent action to connect all 3 pillars into unified wealth building system. Automate expense optimization. Through spending controls, systematize additional income stream processes. Plan protection layer expansions for months 2 through 6. Disconnected efforts fail. Systematic integration creates exponential results. This isn't motivational speaking, this is mathematical reality. Every month you stay in the paycheck-to-paycheck trap. You lose compound interest opportunities that you can never recover. Every year you delay building the 3-pillar system costs you exponentially more than starting today. Starting the system at age 25 versus 30 costs you approximately $200,000 over your lifetime. Starting at 30 versus 35, another $150,000 gone forever? The mathematics are brutal and unforgiving. Economic conditions are deteriorating rapidly. Inflation is destroying purchasing power. Housing costs are skyrocketing beyond middle-class reach. The paycheck-to-paycheck trap is getting deeper and more permanent every month you wait to escape. You have exactly 2 options in this moment. Close this video, go back to your old patterns, and join the 90% who will work until they die while never feeling financially secure. Or take the first action I outlined, break the expense, patterns that keep you trapped, and build the 3-pillar system that creates real financial freedom. Your mission starts immediately. Complete your expense audit this week and eliminate 1 status expense permanently. Not next week, not when you have more time. This week, right now. Comment below what the status expense you're eliminating and I'll personally help you redirect that money toward wealth building. This opened your eyes to why paycheck-to-paycheck cycles are designed to trap you. Subscribe immediately. Next week, I'm revealing the exact investment allocation that turned a $38,000 teacher's salary into complete financial independence in 15 years. The 3-pillar system works for anyone willing to prioritize financial freedom over financial appearances. The mathematics work regardless of your current income level or debt situation. Stop funding other people's wealth with your paycheck-to-paycheck lifestyle. Start building your own wealth with systematic financial freedom, your future financially. Independent self is counting on the decision you make right now. Drop the status expense you're eliminating this week in the comments, and hit subscribe for weekly strategies that break the paycheck-to-paycheck trap forever. Next video. The exact 15-year financial independence blueprint that works on any salary.